Welcome to Her Story, a special series from the FAM podcast celebrating the women shaping the mattress industry. I'm your host, Tara Kinsley, and in each episode, we'll go deeper, personal, professional, and play, to explore who these women are as people, how they lead, and what truly fills their cup. This is Her Story, and this is the FAM, proud champions of the women who move the mattress industry and the world forward.
Comfort without compromise. Leggett and Platt and Elite Comfort Solutions believe better sleep begins with better engineering. For decades, they powered many of the industry's most trusted bedding brands with advanced foam and component technologies. Their solutions are designed to enhance comfort, improve performance, and help products stand out in a competitive marketplace. Today, they're expanding that partnership, working directly with retailers to develop high-performance private label brands built on differentiated comfort technologies and supported by strategic marketing solutions. From product design to brand storytelling, they help their partners win. Leggett and Platt and Elite Comfort Solutions. Smarter comfort, stronger brands, success built together. For the first time ever, top retailers can introduce the mattress that's been locked away inside of one of America's top mattress retailers until now. Introducing Prana Sleep, the ultimate luxury mattress collection designed by lifelong sleep industry leaders who set out to create the best sleep experience imaginable at any cost. Born from decades of industry expertise and real-world retail feedback, Prana Sleep doesn't just sell mattresses, it sells satisfaction, loyalty, and premium performance. Now, Prana Sleep is awarding these unparalleled products to a select group of top-tier retailers. Proudly made in the USA, Prana Sleep mattresses are handcrafted in private factories by top-tier craftspeople, ensuring exceptional quality and detail. What sets Prana Sleep apart? 100% natural materials, luxury latex, and the only machines in the world that quilt latex directly into the top panel for a one-of-a-kind, indulgent feel. Stand out in the marketplace with a mattress line engineered for luxury and crafted for those who demand the best. Your competition will hate selling against Prana Sleep because nothing compares. Prana Sleep, bring the secret to success into your stores today. Go to pranasleep.com now to apply.
Welcome to the FAM podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the bedding business get even better.
Hey fam, I am here with Julia Rosin today. She's the Vice President of Marketing for the bedding division at Leggett & Platt. She has a travel blog called Go Girlfriend, and she's had that since 2007, where intelligent women go for travel and information that matters. She celebrated her 30th wedding anniversary last year. Congratulations.
Oh, you got all the dirt.
You know, it's easy to stalk people these days, which is kind of scary. And she is our neighbor to the north, hailing from Canada. Welcome to the show, Julia.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited. Okay, first question, though. Do you like poutine?
No, I don't.
Me neither.
I can't lie. It's disgusting to me. But,
I think it's just mushy.
Yeah, mushy. That's
because the fries are kind of mushy and then the gravy makes them mushier. So anyway, here's how her story works. We have 3 categories: personal, professional, and play. You will choose a number between 1 and either 8 or 9, depending on the category. And that number decides what question you'll be asked. So choose wisely. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get started. First category is personal. Choose a number between 1 and 8.
3.
3. Do you believe in having it all? Why or why not?
Oh, I absolutely believe you can have it all. But I also believe you can't have it all at the same time.
Okay.
So
tell me.
I think that we are, as human beings, capable of so much more than we give ourselves credit for. But we've been fed this line, especially women. You know, you can have it all. You can have the career, you can have the kids, you can have this, you can have that, and you can. But it's really hard to fit it in all at the same time. I think that some things require more care and attention and more focus. And sometimes things have to give way so that something else can succeed. So I'm not saying you can't have kids and a career at the same time at all, but you can't have absolutely everything. Something's got to give. We just, we have to sleep, we have to eat, we have to have downtime. Yeah, you can have it all, but you just have to pace yourself.
What's an example of a time in your life when there was something that you felt like you had to put on pause and pick back up later because you couldn't have it all at that moment?
It's a really good question. So earlier in my career, when I was a travel writer and I was traveling around doing a lot, I had very young children. I was also teaching at a college, teaching creative writing. I had also been published in the Chicken Soup for the Soul book, so I was doing book signings there.
Those books.
Ah, they were fun back in the day before blogs, right?
Yeah.
And I was also teaching part-time at a women's prison. So I had an awful lot on my plate. And there was a moment there. I was actually thinking about this a little while ago because my dad sent me a Christmas card that year saying, I just want you to take a minute and breathe and realize how much you do have. And at that point, I realized you can't chase every single star.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to make choices. What's important, which direction you want to go. And when you choose something, that means something else has to go away. And so I think there have been times in my life where I've had to make that choice. Do I regret them? Absolutely not. Once you make that pivot and you make that choice, you run and you enjoy it all and experience it all. And you can't look back because you can never go back and say, what if? That's not fair to yourself or the people who love.
Yeah. So was there something that you have gotten back to recently, maybe now that your kids are grown or now that you're not doing, this or that feels like you've picked it back up? Or are most of the things that you've kind of just let go of and it feels okay and natural and fine?
Yeah, I think one thing that, I really wanted to when I was a young writer, I wanted to establish myself as a writer. I did write for the Boston Globe and the New York Times a couple of times. And so I felt like I had those accolades and I thought, okay, I could climb this career and I'd like to go back to it because I enjoyed the memoir writing and the personal introspection. I just say I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the product of it. It's really hard to write memoirs.
Yeah.
You feel like you're bleeding on the keyboard most of the time.
I bet.
I enjoyed it, but I don't go back to that. I now write personally. I write in a journal and I have other creative outlets that I do. Looking, if I had to go back and say, should I have done that? Maybe not, considering how much blogging changed the world and how the internet changed the world. It became very, very difficult to make a.
Yeah, no doubt. And now, with AI, it's kind of scary. I was an English teacher for a decade, and I think about how that's going to just change the landscape of education and how to teach writing and how to,
Absolutely.
Receive writing. And so,
yeah.
All right, good. So 1 through 8, give me another one, personal.
6. We'll
6.
double it.
All right. What's one thing people totally get wrong about you?
They think I'm an extrovert.
Really?
A lot of people, I used to do a lot of public speaking and I'm pretty good in a crowd, but I am probably, I'm very definitely an introvert, maybe on the extroverted side, but I get my energy from my time alone, my creative space. And it takes a lot for me to get out into a crowd, to walk into a crowded room. It's not my favorite thing to do. Which is why I chose public speaking, so I can be on stage and not have to mingle.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. They bring you in the back and then they whisk you away. You're like, how do you recharge then after Vegas or after, because, with your job and especially probably living in Canada, I would imagine you travel quite a lot.
I do travel a lot. I'm just really protective of my downtime. So when it's time for me to be, off, work and I'm not doing things with work and I don't have a gazillion emails to catch up on, I do shut down technology and I'll journal and I read. I also play the flute. I like to knit. So there's a lot of things that I do to just feed that creativity and let my brain just breathe and relax. And then, you find your energy again.
I love it. I played the flute.
Did you really?
Yes, in junior high and a year in high school.
Okay.
And then when I graduated college, I sold it for money. But
I was going to do that, and my husband wouldn't let me, and I'm really glad he didn't because I still keep it.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, one more in the personal category, 1 through 8. Give me one more.
2.
2. How do you actually recharge? Not the Instagram or Facebook version, but how do you recharge? your batteries? And you kind of touched on it, I guess, in the last question.
I did kind of touch on it. I think, I do things that make me feel good about myself and allow my brain that space to breathe. So, whether it's playing the flute, which is not always recharging because that's another focused energy. Journaling, I love to journal, just let my mind wander. And I love to knit. Everybody who knows me knows that I love to knit. And I'm the hokiest knitter. I knit headbands and sweaters for the kids and scarves, and I, through the COVID pandemic, I knit all kinds of blankets. And so everybody that knows me has gotten something. But it's a great way to, your fingers are working, and I've knitted so long that I don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
It just allows your mind to wander and, find that safe space again.
Yeah, but you kind of feel like you're doing something productive too, not just kind of.
Don't fall asleep. That's,
You're like, knitting is really hard. My sister knits, and she tried to teach me one time, and it's definitely a skill that is not, for me, it wasn't super easy to pick up. I never caught on.
It is a skill. It's actually a very new skill that we associate with women, but men used to do it all the time.
Really?
You'd know how to knit. If you ever read or watched the Outlander series,
Mhm.
and
I
that big
didn't.
hunky guy, Jamie, he was a knitter.
Okay.
That's what people did in the evenings, 100 years ago. They would sit and they would make their socks and their hats and their scarves and darn their things that needed to be fixed. But everybody in the family helped. It wasn't just relegated to females.
Yeah. Who taught you how to knit?
My husband's grandmother, she was a real knitter, and she taught me a couple years before she passed away. And I remember at one point she said to me, because I make Nordic sweaters, so there's a lot of colors and patterns, and she said that I had surpassed her ability by far, and she loved the stuff that I was making. So it was a real compliment to get that from her. She was a very stern German woman, and she didn't smile a lot, or she never told a joke. And so to get a compliment from her was a big, especially as a granddaughter-in-law. So that was
Yeah. That's cool. And that's cool that that's who you got that from. It's kind of like a memory, something that you think about maybe sometimes when you knit. That's awesome. All right. Let's move on to professional. I am going to ask you a question before you choose 1 through 9. How did you get into the sleep industry? I mean, even just in this, short conversation, you've talked about many careers that you've had before. I'm going to throw one out that's not on the sheet.
Sure. I'm happy to share that story. The company I was working for, I was doing travel writing, and they were on their way out, getting ready to declare bankruptcy. They were letting people go every week. It was a really hard company to work for because you knew where it was going. They weren't going to recover. And so I applied at Blackberry. Do you remember that company? Yeah, that one.
Okay.
So I applied for their director of marketing, and then I also applied to Natura, which was a natural and organic mattress manufacturer not far from where I live.
Okay.
So both of them offered me a job at the same time, both almost identical salary ranges. I remember walking into Natura, and they wanted a writer, and I had said, I don't think you need a writer. I think you need a communications director. You have no digital footprint. Like, this was still early on, 2006, but I already knew where things were going. And so when they offered me the job, and then I had this big, shiny position offered to me at Blackberry because it was a big company at that time.
Sure. Yeah.
And then my husband and I went away for a weekend to discuss, the job offering. And he's actually the one that said to me, he said, you could go into Blackberry and you could do exactly what they want you to do because they've got their path already ahead of them. Or you could go to Natura and you could create your own path and you could make something from nothing. Well, as soon as he said that, I'm like, hello.
Yeah. You're like, that one, that's me.
That's it. Yeah. So that's what I did. I decided to go there and created, they had no social media. They didn't have a website even.
Wow.
So I was just able to, envision where I thought the company should go and then create it, work with some really amazing people and watch things grow while and knowing that you had a really important piece of it.
Yeah, I love that. And so your previous job as a travel writer, were you doing things online at that time? So you kind of had a little bit of experience, or did it feel like this was all new for you as well?
No, I was working as a travel writer right before the industry, but before that I had been in the pregnancy and motherhood space. And I worked for a magazine we would get all of our content from the forums because there was no blogs or anything at that time. So I was at that time and the company was based in Utah, and I would be online 8 hours a day. And this was dial up. So let me tell you, it was painful. You're you're doing like this was around 2001, 2002, and dial up and on the phone all the time. I had this World Wide Web phone number that went through the internet, and so yeah, technology at that point was like, I already got this. I'm good.
Right. Yeah. You're like, check the box on that. That's great. Okay, we'll give you a number now. Professional, thank you for sharing that with us. I just kind of wondered how you got in the sleep space. Professional, 1 through 9, choose a number.
9.
9. What would you change immediately if this industry were to be completely run by women?
That one's a really easy one. Sorry. The
Okay.
No more scantily clad women on mattresses. Yeah.
Girls. So just in advertising.
I think you can convey luxury. You can convey any idea you want without resorting to that. And I think I'm always disappointed when I see a brand do that because it doesn't speak to the real woman who's actually buying the mattress. It doesn't appeal to her. And if you say, oh, we want to convey luxury, that's why we have this woman who has a meet in 6 weeks on our mattress, hugging a fur coat. But you can have her do something luxurious with her family or with a partner or, with an animal. Like there's just, we need to be more imaginative as an industry and not just resort to what has always worked in the past because it won't work with younger women moving forward.
Yeah, I do think that society in general too is changing, and maybe we're lagging a little bit behind in our industry on that with our advertising. I think you're right. It won't work in the future, so we need to get with the program.
Yeah,
most definitely. All right, 1 through 9. Can't pick 9 again. What's one thing you wish more men in the industry understood about being a woman in this industry?
I would say I would want all of us to understand this, not just men, is that when you're talking to somebody, whether it's from a different culture or they're a different gender, that they have a different perspective on life. And that understanding that their perspective is different than yours is actually a good thing. And we don't all think the same, nor should we. And so if I bring diversity to the table because I'm the woman at the table, then I would hope that people would be curious about that diversity and where my thought process is. But if there's somebody from a different culture at that table, I would hope that I would be curious and want to know what perspective they're looking at the situation from and what different ways they can look to solve it. I think we all need to get better at that as human beings.
Yeah, so more listening and questioning and less assuming.
Yeah, more curiosity.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's right. Yeah. All right, 1 through 9.
5.
So what's one common industry trend or buzzword you secretly think is total fluff? Okay, tell me more.
It's the most overused buzzword. I was actually doing a webinar with the HFA earlier today, and the word came up, and I was like, I agree with the reasoning behind the word, but let's use the word like honest instead, because it just gets so overused. And you think you know what it means, but you don't really know what it means if you're say you're creating an ad and you put this really skinny woman with a fur coat in there, when you should have a normal sized woman in there who's well dressed or maybe using a laptop or her cell phone. The one isn't authentic just because you say it is. The one that I just described is honest. And let's look at honesty instead of just the buzzwords around what we think is authentic.
Do you think that people try to use that word because, I feel like sometimes retail and mattress sales can be looked at as a little, I don't want to say sleazy, but salesy.
Yeah, for sure.
And so people are trying to push authenticity and maybe that's why they use it.
Yeah, I think that's why any of us use buzzwords, because we think we understand what it means, and then maybe it makes us part of the cool crowd to use the buzzwords. Do we really need to be part of the cool crowd, or we just need to have an honest conversation about what's the right thing to do?
Yeah, no, I like that. That's right. All right, 1 through 9, and then we'll move to play.
Okay.
One more on professional.
One more 9. Sorry, I thought you were just going to throw it at me. 7.
No. Did you choose one? Sorry.
7.
7. Okay, lucky number 7. What's something you think we should stop pretending is normal in this industry?
Are ridiculous extended warranties on mattresses.
Oh my gosh, you're the second woman who said that I've interviewed.
Yeah. They're stupid. When I buy a TV set, I don't get it warranted for 25 years. When I buy my laptop, it isn't warranted for 25 years. Why shouldn't my mattress be warranted for 25 years?
And you shouldn't even keep a mattress for 25 years, honestly. I mean, all the skin cells and sweat and other unmentionables that are seeping into it, it feels like, we need to get rid of that. Who do you think, though, is responsible for the warranty myth? Do you think it's manufacturers? Do you think it's retailers? Do you think it's combination?
I think it's totally a combination. And I think
Mhm.
we've trained our consumer to have certain expectations. It's, like when they order a mattress online, that they maybe get to keep the mattress instead of returning it. And so just you train a consumer to expect certain things or the big, deep discounts instead of having mattresses sold at a regular price.
Right.
So it takes time to untrain that consumer. So who's responsible is probably less important than who can fix it. And
Mm.
bigger companies, leadership companies, the
Mhm.
ones that are leading the pack, they have to be the ones to lead that change. Unfortunately, the little guys can't do it because then they're left out in left field without any hook for landing that customer. So it's a hard situation. It's not an easy fix by any stretch.
Yeah. And do you think, while you say that the larger companies need to lead the charge on that, do you think that that's risky for them to do?
Sure it is. But is
So
it the right
nobody,
thing to do?
yeah,
Lots
sound
of
like
things
it.
that are risky that are still the right thing to do, and lots of things that companies have done that are the right thing to do. But it takes one person in that company to change, and that maybe that one person hasn't come forward yet, and that again takes time to find that person who's confident and sure of themselves that can help change that within the company, and then it changes, starts to change the industry.
Yeah. Before we move on to the play category, I want to ask you another question too that's not on our list. I want you to tell me a little bit more about why Leggett and Platt and Elite Comfort Solutions partnered with WithIt and what that organization means to you and how it feels like it's taking up positive space in our industry.
Well, full disclosure, I'm a former president of WithIt. So WithIt holds a, pretty close place in my heart that
Yeah.
I know they've done a lot of great for the industry and they've done a lot of good for me as well. So when we decided to create an event for Vegas market, I wanted to partner with a group that I knew would benefit from the event, that group coming together, but I also wanted to partner with a group that could help Leggett and Platt and ECS.
Mhm.
Both Leggett and Platt and ECS um, could use a little bit more exposure with females in the industry. So to me, it was an easy association to make, and everybody wins. I think and we have a lot to give with it as well as a larger organization, a lot that we can
Mhm.
help promote them, but we also need what they can give us.
What can they give you?
A community, exposure to
Mhm.
women in the industry, and I think supporting women in the industry helps us all. I just think that there's a constant back and forth give in that in any company that decides to partner with it.
Yeah. And for people who just don't know much about With It, tell me like when they were established. Is it a membership-based group? Where are some of their other events held within our industry
Sure, I
other
think
than
the
Vegas Market?
exact date, I don't know because I wasn't there. It's been a while since I've looked at the history, but they've probably well, actually, I want to say maybe 2002, 2003, so a long time. But
Yeah.
they hold events both in at High Point, North Carolina, and in Vegas, and different events in different areas. But they also hold a lot of virtual events as well for young women, and they have a scholarship program. So, and it is membership based, but you can join as a member as a company or as an individual. And then they have a great conference in the spring. And what I like about their conference is some industry conferences tend to be a little bit light on the actual content of the speakers.
Mhm.
They're offering networking, but they have speakers as well. Whereas WithIt, I think, offers both. It's got great speakers and great networking, and you're in a smaller group.
Mm.
Anytime you're in a smaller group, like your event,
Yeah.
the Sleep Summit, smaller group leads to better conversations with people.
Yeah. It's more intimate, better connections. Yeah. And their events in the spring.
Yes, spring, early summer.
Cool. Well, cool. All right. Moving on to play.
All
We've
right,
got 1 through 8. Choose a number.
we'll start with 3 again.
3. What's your sleep routine really like? No judgment zone. Just give it to me straight.
Oh, like I said to you before about protecting my private time, I also am very protective of my sleep. So I have a very early routine. I'm usually in bed and asleep by 10 o'clock
Okay.
and up most mornings by 6, if not a
Okay.
little bit earlier. But I've been that my whole life. I remember being a teenager at a high school dance, and dancing with some guy and looking up at the clock thinking, it's only 9 o'clock and I have to be here till midnight. I don't know how I'm going to go back. I was like almost 15 at the time thinking, thinking like an old lady already.
You're just an old soul.
I am. Yeah. Very protective of my sleep for sure.
So you're a 10 to 6 kind of person.
I pretty much am.
If you have the opportunity, can you sleep in? Okay.
No, I'm not. My grandfather used to always say to me, if you sleep until 9 o'clock, the best part of your day is gone. So you may as well just forget it.
What is your favorite part about the morning?
I love to journal in the morning. I love to just enjoy the quiet time by myself and listen to the birds, do some reading. It's a time where you just let your brain wake up slowly. But I also like to go for walks in the morning. I used to run in the morning. So it really is a time where you can just do what you want to do. And you're not beholden to a clock.
Right. What about at night? Do you have any kind of steadfast rules, like no screen time for an hour before night, or you put a sleep machine on, or those kinds of things? You sleep, in zero gravity.
I'm really not inclined to check my email at 9 o'clock at night. So it's not really a rule. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So, when I go to bed, I usually end up reading, but I read off of like a Kindle. So it is a screen, but it's not the same kind of screen with the same kind of light. But no, I don't really feel like I need to have any rules because I know myself well. And I'm just like, I never set an alarm. I'm usually awake at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then you can start your day. And it's just that I think it's more natural when you're comfortable with yourself like that and you can sleep like that. No, that doesn't happen when I'm at Vegas Market, of course.
Right.
I was up at 4:30 every morning there, but
right. You did set an alarm there.
I didn't have to, actually. I couldn't sleep any longer because the time changed.
Just like all the time change and
the excitement of March.
Yeah, nervous energy for sure. Yeah. All right, 1 through 8.
8.
If your leadership style were a cocktail, what would it be and why?
Well, my favorite cocktail is a Cosmo with ginger.
Oh, ginger. I love that. I do love Cosmos. Are you gin or vodka? Okay.
But the ginger really takes away the sweetness and makes it a little bit more spicy.
Okay, I like
So
it.
my leadership style is probably alongside that. I like to keep things fun. I like to involve everybody, and I never feel like I'm leading. I always feel like I'm collaborating with people, and then we make the decision mutually. So I would say I lead alongside people instead of ahead of them.
I love that. When I was teaching for 10 years, one of the best advice that I got was if the kids can choose and they have ownership, then they're a lot more likely to see things through to the best of their abilities. So that sounds kind of like what you just said.
Yeah, absolutely. We all need ownership and feel good about what we're doing.
Yeah, that's right. All right, 1 through 8.
Number 4.
4. If you could have any superpower or skill, what would it be and why?
Superpower or skill? That's a really hard one. I think if it was a superpower, I'd like people to think about others first. If I could ask them to think about others before they make decisions, that, the Boy Scout motto, do unto others first before you do for yourself. I think it's just human nature that we, especially in a world where everything is so challenged right now, we're protective and we hoard things to ourselves. But if we were just a little bit more open and just understand that there really is enough for everybody,
Yeah.
that maybe the world might be a little bit better place.
Man, I love that. I was just going to say sleeping on a plane, but that's really good.
I went over the top, right over the top. Sorry.
I just all look bad. One of the girls said flying.
Okay, my real superpower, eat as much pizza and tacos as I want without
Oh my God.
putting me
Okay.
a pound.
I'm adding that one too.
That's a better one.
No, yours was perfect. And it's so true. Okay, let's do one more play and then we'll do lightning round 1 through 8.
6.
Oh, this is one that I kind of wanted to ask you anyway.
Cool.
You just won an all expense paid vacation of your choice. Where would you go? And I'm interested because you are such a well-traveled person. This, where you might want to go or go again.
Well, I think, interesting. Where I want to go, I don't think I'll ever get there in my lifetime because it's not safe to go there right now, is to go to Egypt and go take a cruise down the Nile and tour the pyramids and explore all the ancient Egyptian civilization.
Yeah, that would be really cool for
That
sure.
would be pretty amazing, yeah.
Yeah, that would be really amazing. If you could go back to a place that you've been, where would you go?
I could go back to a place. I love Scotland.
Okay.
Absolutely love Scotland. So I could go there and explore more of what I missed. I would go back there in a heartbeat. Maybe Wales, because I didn't get to Wales. So that would be
Gotcha. I
anyway.
was wondering if you would say Greece because when I was doing some of my stalking on you, I saw that you
I
had,
love Greece.
yeah, it looked like you had been and then you went back not
Many
too long
times.
ago. Okay. I would love to go to Greece too. I think the food would be amazing and just
The
coast
people are
and-
amazing.
Yeah.
They're so genuine and heartfelt, and the food is amazing. And they're so laid back in Greece. If you don't get to it today, tomorrow. The very first time we went, I remember asking at the hotel, the concierge, for takeaway coffee. And it's like, what is this takeaway coffee? You drink your coffee, then you go. You drink your coffee, then you go. You don't take it away. You drink it, and then you go.
He's like, have a moment, lady. You don't need to walk with your coffee. Just chill.
Right. Just relax. You'll be okay.
Gosh, that's probably just like such an American thing to do. It's like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. All right, lightning round. Here we go. Save or splurge?
Safe.
Salty or sweet?
Salty.
Text or call? Well, early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
I was like, we kind of already know that one.
Yeah. Yep.
Pack light or bring options?
Pack light.
So do you check bags?
No, usually. We can do 10 to 12 days on carry-on luggage.
Same.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
I really hate waiting for the baggage carousel.
I hate it. I mean, like, I'm so excited to be there. And then when I get home, yeah, I just want to go. And then when I get home, I definitely don't want to wait because I just want to be home. Yeah, same. Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook?
Currently none.
Okay. Are you on a ban or like a dry January, but February for social media?
Nothing like that. LinkedIn is probably the only one I use right now regularly. I used to use social media a lot. I was considered one of the top influencers back in the day.
Mhm.
But I think it can burn you out. And I think you start to see different values of posting or not posting. Just for where I am in my life right now, I feel more inclined to stay away from that. And there's also a lot of garbage on those channels now.
So much.
It's not 2007 anymore. It's really, you can feel bad about yourself and everybody else in the world just by spending a half an hour on those channels.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And there's so many ads too.
Yeah. And it's politically charged. And yeah, there's flush.
Okay. Power nap or push through?
Push through, probably.
Same. Bed made or unmade?
I usually keep it unmade so I can. And I live in Canada where it's cold. So, and I grew up with, you would open the windows, close the door in your bedroom, and it would be minus 20 outside. And you come back and your sheets smell so lovely and fresh.
You're just like, meh. All right. Planner or wing it?
Planner.
All right. Julia, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm excited to share this with everybody and just promote women in our industry and let everybody get to know us more.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. I think this is great what you're doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing it and sharing it with my community on LinkedIn.
Nowhere else.
Nowhere else.
I'll share it everywhere else, I promise.
All right. I'll let you.
All right. Well, bye. We'll see you soon, fam. Bye.
Thanks so much, Tara.